Hello, I'm Philip Lyons, Dean of the College of Criminal Justice at Sam Houston State University. Since its founding in 1965, the College of Criminal Justice has been a leader preparing the next generation of professionals in criminal justice and criminology, forensic science, security studies, and victim studies. Our academic programs provide students with a unique opportunity to learn from our world-renowned faculty, which includes not only leading criminal justice researchers, but also professionals who bring their valuable real-world experience to the classroom. Our connections in the criminal justice field through our research partnerships, academically engaged courses, and our internship and career services office provide students opportunities to earn experience while pursuing their degrees, making them more attractive to potential employers upon graduation. We offer many flexible course options to suit your educational needs, offering courses in person and online, including our premium distance learning courses. To learn more about the SHSU College of Criminal Justice, scan the QR code you see on the screen, and keep watching more to learn about why Sam Houston State University is a great place to continue your educational journey. Thank you for considering the SHSU College of Criminal Justice, and eat 'em up, cats.
The state-of-the-art facilities at Sam Houston, like this forensics lab, is what drew me here when I was looking at places to go to college.
It's super nice. We can run two different practices at the same time in two different arenas. And if we get rained out, we can still come over here and throw downstairs and rope and everything else.
One of the things I love about Sam Houston is got to be the art. It's truly beautiful and makes walking campus a really unique experience.
Sam Houston State University was established in 1879 in Huntsville, Texas, with a mission of service to grow the teaching workforce. Since then, we have expanded to serve more than 21,000 students among 8 colleges, earning degrees on campus and online. More than half of our students are the first in their families to earn a 4-year degree. 140 years later, we've grown from humble beginnings, building new facilities and valuable community connections. To some Bearcats, campus may look or feel a little different from what they remember. The Southeast Texas Applied Forensic Science Facility is a research, education, and training center in Walker County designed to advance applied anthropology, human anatomy, forensic science, biology, and chemistry to advance scientific understanding for criminal investigations. 15 miles outside of Huntsville, on the banks of the Trinity River, Sam Houston's 300-acre university camp invites Bearcats and community members into nature. Team building and leadership development are centered around the facility's lodge, outdoor ropes course, pavilion, and pool. Another connection with nature is Sam Houston's Piney Woods Environmental Research Laboratory, welcoming community members for small group field trips to study ecology, land stewardship, research, and sustainability. Outdoor beauty is also on display at the Gibbs Ranch Agricultural Complex, where for the first time in 20 years, rodeo athletes can compete locally in a new arena. The stellar new facility features a science education research complex and centers for academic learning. Enjoy a front row seat for stargazing at the Sam Houston Planetarium and Observatory. Experience planetarium shows free of charge on the main campus. And just a short drive from Huntsville is the area's only ADA-compliant, wheelchair-accessible public observatory, featuring a state-of-the-art domed retractable roof. With more than 70,000 visitors each year, the Sam Houston Memorial Museum and Republic of Texas Presidential Library shares the history of Texas and the life of Sam Houston through programs, exhibits, and unique artifacts. They also host free community events on the museum grounds, General Sam Houston Day, an annual festival, and Sundown at Sam's, a spring music series. The Sam Houston Natural Science and Art Research Center in Huntsville is a dynamic collaboration between the departments of art and biological sciences. Visitors can find a variety of unique collections while aspiring student scientists in training engage in the vital processes of archiving, safeguarding, and presenting significant artifacts. Serving Huntsville, Conroe, the Woodlands, and online students everywhere, Sam Houston's high-quality facilities connect to our communities by elevating knowledge and culture as we expand on our legacy of service to others. We've prepared students for the workforce needs of Texas for nearly 150 years, and we're proud to measure our lives through service. The pride we feel in being Bearcats, that's immeasurable.
So today, we're going to talk about a couple of different things. Number one, we're talk about our certificate programs. I'm going to give you an overview. We're going to talk about our online courses where we can offer you opportunities for 5-week courses or 15-week courses, depending on our program. And we're going to talk about our programs themselves. We're also going to talk about a new opportunity for law enforcement and for those community colleges that might have an academy associated with your community college. This is an opportunity for students to transfer a associate's degree related to applied arts and science over to our bachelor's of applied arts and science, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So first, I'm going to talk about our certificates. One of the things that we've recognized is that a lot of our students work, and we're more of a blue-collar university where students need the opportunity to differentiate themselves early on. And so one of the things we thought we could do is looking at our courses and looking at opportunities that might help our students along the way. We identified different certificates that will do that. So current students taking courses, they have their opportunities to identify electives. Those electives can be aligned with certificate programs. Many of the courses may be actual required courses, but the others are electives that a student can choose, and they can gain a valuable certificate. That certificate will be a digital badge on their LinkedIn account, and as soon as they finish the courses, they actually get the certificate. And that allows a student then, if they want to apply for a job before they graduate and they want to do something while they're going to school, they have that opportunity to differentiate themselves in that manner. So we're going to talk a little bit about those different certificate opportunities. So first, I'll talk about our undergraduate certificate in crime analysis and mapping. This actually is a certificate that belongs to the College of Science and Engineering Technology, and we've partnered with them. What this allows a student to do is if you want to differentiate yourselves in the law enforcement community, for example, or in private security, this allows you to look at mapping. This way you can understand crime analysis, you can understand criminal investigations, and then you can take that information and you can do hotspot analysis. You can take that information and you can actually make a map that then can be used for decisions. So what this requires is a couple of courses from CJ, crime analysis and criminal investigations. And then there's 5 courses offered from GIS in our environmental geosciences program, and you choose 3 of those. One of those is specifically related to mapping and law enforcement. And at the completion of those courses, then of course you'll get your certificate. If you're in the victim studies program, then many of the courses you're going to be taking anyway, you can take 4 specific courses and you can be aligned for that victims studies undergraduate certificate. So when we look at security studies, one of the things that I found, and I spent 26 years in the Army and retired about 10 years ago, but when I was coming out of the Army, I didn't really know how to take my resume and tailor it the way that it needed to be if I wanted to compete in a particular area. So for those folks that are transitioning from the professional world into a new job area, or for new students that are coming through and they want to identify with the security requirements related to energy and chemical, transportation, other requirements that may be in healthcare, these courses will allow you to understand those requirements. So they go through 3 common courses that look at risk assessment, they look at emergency management, they look at cybersecurity, and then each one is differentiated by 2 other courses that look at the transportation requirements, they look at energy and chemical requirements, and they also look at the requirements associated with healthcare. And each one of those has different regulatory requirements, they have different vulnerabilities, and at the end of that, you would be able to take your information that you may have done things related to the area before, but you may not have really been able to communicate it. And this gives you that information you need to update your resume, prepare for an interview, and to be successful in a new field. In addition to that, the Security Studies Department developed a biosecurity and pandemics certificate. And we know that in the world today, that's something that we've got to be aware of, and that certificate's available in that area as well. So this fall, we've brought 3 additional certificates online. And what that allows you to do is you can look at investigative forensics. There's 5 courses that range from fingerprint analysis to understand forensics itself. And you can complete those 5 courses and again, get your certificate. We have a certificate in criminal justice management and leadership. For years, we've had a certificate in leadership and management at the graduate level, but we felt the need that students would have the opportunity to have a certificate in management and leadership. And then finally, you can get a certificate in criminal justice. So there are other certificates available, and I encourage you, if you come into our program directly, then you would, when you go to the SAM Center, tell them you want to add a certificate, and they can go through what the certificates that are available, and you can choose a particular certificate. If you want to just enroll in a certificate through Apply Texas, you can also do that as well. So I'm going to turn it over to our chair for criminal justice and criminology and ask him to talk a little bit about the programs available in CJ. Jason?
Thanks, Dave. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so my name is Jason Ingram. I'm the chair of the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology here at SAM Houston. And so in addition to the certificates in our CJ department that Dave had mentioned, we also have a few other programs that we would like to highlight. Our primary programs are our Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. These are 120 credit hour programs, and for transfer students, usually students would transfer in for the last 2 years and complete sort of the advanced electives for these 2 programs. But the Bachelor of Arts, what separates the two? So the core and criminal justice classes are all the same. But what differentiates the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science is that the Bachelor of Arts has a 14 credit hour foreign language requirement, whereas the Bachelor of Science has a 15 credit hour requirement in taking like 5 other social science classes. So those could be in psychology or sociology. If students are majoring in other disciplines such as psychology or sociology, they could also do a minor in criminal justice. So our minor is 18 credit hours, and it is a mix of some of our required courses in the CJ curriculum and then some of our 3,000 or 4,000 advanced electives. In terms of the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and the minor in criminal justice, they are in flexible formats. So students can complete these courses face-to-face, online, or a lot of our students, for flexibility, take a combination of the 2. And then, Dave, I believe you touched on all of the other undergraduate certificates in terms of crime analysis and mapping. We do have a minor in crime analysis and mapping. So the certificate is 16 credit hours. The minor is 22 credit hours. So there are some additional classes requirements that would be taken either through our criminal justice electives or in geosciences. And then we also have a certificate in criminal justice and leadership and management that David already covered. So these are the 7 programs that we offered here in the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology. Thank you.
So Nadav, can you talk to us about security studies?
Sure. Thanks, Dave. My name is Nadav Malag. I'm chair of the Department of Security Studies. So we have a number of programs that we offer. So we've got a bachelor program, a Bachelor of Arts, and a Bachelor of Science in Homeland Security Studies. These are both offered exclusively online. Bachelor of Arts, similar to criminal justice, involves a foreign language requirement. Otherwise, the 2 programs are identical. The focus of both programs is to give students a broad sense of the Homeland Security enterprise, which is covers a lot of different issues, anywhere from critical infrastructure protection to counterterrorism to emergency management to border and aviation security, and so on. So we try to cover a whole range of different areas and give students a sense of what's out there and the different career options that they might want to pursue. We also have a minor in Homeland Security Studies for those students who are majoring in criminal justice or political science or other areas and want to get a little bit of a sense of what the field of Homeland Security entails. As part of our undergraduate programs, we have the certificate programs that were previously mentioned, the biosecurity and pandemics for folks who are interested in public health issues and in preparing for the next pandemic that will occur. And then we have certificates that are focused very much on critical infrastructure areas, particularly the ones that are very important here in Texas. And those include the chemical sector and the energy sector. So we've got one undergraduate certificate that wraps up those two areas, one in the healthcare sector, which is another huge sector here in our part of Texas, and then finally in the transportation sector as well. So that's kind of the suite of things that we offer the students. We allow them to specialize a little bit within the certificate programs, but also we try to give them a sort of a broad brushstroke in terms of understanding what's entailed within the field of Homeland Security.
Thank you, Nadav. Shelley?
Sure. So similar to my colleagues, the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, the Bachelor of Arts requires the language, and science has a Bachelor of Science has other electives. Our degree is really unique, I will say first, because we're the only Department of Victim Studies in the nation, maybe the world. I like to make that claim, but I'm not completely sure if it's true about the whole world. But we specialize in teaching our students how to help victims. And so that can be from a law enforcement perspective. Some of our students have went on to work as law enforcement and special victims units. Our students have become victim advocates. They've worked in nonprofits. They've worked with victims of all kinds, from children to elderly. So we're really unique in the sense that we are going to teach you how to work with and best assist victims. We also have our minor, which is 18 credits. And so you would take 6 different classes. And this minor is also really unique because it's giving you those classes that can help you if you want to work with victims, or you're going to go into a job where maybe solely you're not working with victims, but you interact with victims in various ways. It really will teach you the skills that you need. And our students report time and time again that this program helped them be empathetic towards victims, but also successful in getting them the care that they needed.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about our forensics program. They weren't available. There's a couple of different conferences going on right now. But forensics itself, I mean, if you want to major in forensics, then we usually talk about what you're really interested in. If you're the one that wants to be in the lab and you want to look and see how things work and why they work, then you have to have a degree of biology or chemistry, and that's the route really for the master's level and the PhD level. If you want to be in the field and you want to do analysis in that manner, where you're actually taking the Q-tip and you're dipping it into the blood, or you're taking fingerprints or that, then this is really where our certificate program, for example, that focuses in that investigative forensics, that's where that program is going to help you. But we've got these undergraduate programs. We've got, again, our master's in science and forensics. These are on-campus programs. We've got our PhD in forensics. And then if you're interested in those programs, there's a couple of QR codes here that you can use. But more importantly, if you want to understand those investigative components of it, and you want to be a CJ major or a Homeland Security major or victim studies, but you also want to be well-rounded and understand this component, then you've got the opportunity to do that certificate or to do the minor. So as we move along, the other opportunity that we have is our Bachelor's of Applied Arts and Science with a concentration in criminal justice. So this opportunity just became available this fall. We recognize that for years we've we didn't really have a very good entry point for law enforcement officers to take advantage of the professional development that they do. So for community colleges, again, that have a law enforcement program, if they have a associate's degree in applied arts and science and criminal justice, then that degree will directly transfer over. A matter of fact, if you have other applied arts and science degrees, those would directly transfer over to a BAS degree as well, with the option of looking at the criminal justice components. So it's not just isolated to law enforcement officers. Other officers that complete that degree, there's a pathway to transfer in. Now, the difference for this particular program, at least for right now, is this rests in the College of Science and Engineering Technology. So for those students that would want to apply into this particular program, they would not be applying for the College of Criminal Justice. They would be applying for COSIT, which is our College of Science and Engineering Technology. And once they get into the program, then a counselor actually sits down with you and goes through what the requirements would be. Essentially, these required courses that you see on the slide, those are very similar to the required courses that you would see for any student that was transferring over for a BA or a BS. These are the typical criminal justice courses. And again, you've got a lot of flexibility here. The required courses that you see on the screen, looking at victimology, the intro to methods and research, fundamentals of criminal law. Some of those are lower level courses where you can see the 2000 level. Many of those you're going to take care of in your associate's program. But if you didn't, you have the opportunity to take those as well. But these are the required courses, and then you're going to have electives that are associated with that. Another program that, or another class that's part of this is called CATM 4360. And what 4360 allows you to do is you actually can do this over 3 different semesters. You can get 3 course credits per semester, so 9 hours total. And each one of those are a little bit different focus. So in the first, you really look at personal finance. In the second, you look at career development. And then in the third, there's another focus where you actually look at where you're going to be moving forward. And so that's something specific to that program, and that's another available. You can also do an internship through the College of Criminal Justice that's external to that, and that internship can count toward those CJ electives. So there are a lot of opportunities here. The other thing that we would want to point out is for those that have earned that Associates of Applied Arts and Science, again, that's the best pathway coming into the program. But if you don't have an Associates of Applied Arts and Science, there are a couple of other pathways as well, especially for TDCJ, for our TJJD, our professionals that have gone through some type of academy, have professional development training. That can be evaluated, and a portfolio can be put together to bring you in the program. Just understand that core requirements are still there. And so if you come into the program that way, you're going to have whatever credits you get associated with your professional development, which could be up to 33, but then you're going to have to take core courses as well. But there are a couple different opportunities to come into that program. And then with a peace officer exemption, there's a lot of opportunities here related to enrolling in the College of Criminal Justice with a degree in criminal justice, with a degree in victim studies, with a degree in homeland security, and the actual Bachelor of Applied Arts and Science with a concentration of criminal justice. All the courses that you take for any of those programs that relate directly to criminal justice, there'll be no tuition. So there are fees associated, so it's not free, but the tuition is covered as part of that peace officer exemption. So this is some general information that's related to that, but on our website, it's got more detailed information where a peace officer can provide their details, and then they'll understand exactly what they need to do in order to get that exemption. But it'll take away that cost of tuition for any of those criminal justice courses. So the other thing I'd like to talk about is our 5-week format, because we have a couple of things in our programs. If you're in a Homeland Security program, you're going to be in this 5-week format. If you're in the College of Criminal Justice, or you want to get a victim studies degree, or you want to pursue that certificate in investigative forensics, then you're going to have a couple of options. You have a 15-week format that courses are available in, and you can look and see what those are. Some students find that a 15-week format is really aligned with what they're used to and what they're more comfortable with, and you certainly can do that. But we also have a 5-week format. And this 5-week format is developed specifically for professionals and for those that we know that don't have the luxury of attending class at a specified time. And this is exactly what those individuals need. If you want to log in at 5 in the morning and do your coursework, if you want to log in at midnight, if you're in a shift work, this allows you to do that. The only time that you have to turn things in is the end of each week. So there are some exercises associated with it. And each one is a critical thinking exercise. There's some application exercises, and there are exams. And so there's one exercise and one exam at the end of each week. But a student can complete all of that on Saturday before everything's due on Sunday. And it's really up to the instructor talking to the students exactly what those due dates are, because they're going to put those in based on how the scheduling works. But the student has the flexibility to work in those programs and do it at their own pace. So don't know of any other program that's offering these 5-week opportunities, but this can allow you in a regular 15-week semester, instead of taking one course over that 15 weeks, you actually can take a 5A, 5B, and 5C, and you've actually taken 3 courses during the same time frame that it would have taken you to take one. Just understand that you're still getting the same amount of material in that 5 weeks. So it's not something that you could just take for granted. There's going to be a lot of material to cover, but certainly can be done, and you can do that. It's a great way to, if you want to take one 15-week course and 3 5 weeks, you can never have more than 2 courses at a time, and you complete 12 hours of coursework. So at this point, I'd like to ask Crystal, who's on, to talk a little bit about the admissions process and becoming a Bearcat.
Yeah, of course. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
Awesome. So my name is Crystal Jaramillo. I'm one of the undergraduate counselors for Sam Houston State University. So pretty much what it's going to look like for the transfer process is we are accepting applications through Apply Texas for transfer students. There is a $50 non-refundable fee. Once that's put through, the student will contact their registrar's office or an academic advisor and have them send over their official college transcript with all those updated credits in there. And then typically that's all we need. As long as the student has 18 hours and a 2.0 GPA, they'll automatically be admitted. If they have less than 18 hours and have 12 to 17 hours, then they'll need a 2.5 in order to automatically be accepted. We'll keep in contact with the student as soon as they apply. You'll get a self-service center email, and then from there, you'll be able to see your application progress up until you get accepted.
Thank you, Crystal. So the other thing I'd like to talk about before we go to questions is financial aid. So again, if you're applying and you're going to be directly into Sam Houston because you're a transfer student, then that'll be through Sam, and you can do your financial aid that way, contacting our financial aid department. If, for example, you have got students that are enrolled and they're still completing their undergraduate requirements through the community college and they want to dual enroll, there are some opportunities to do that as well, where a student would be able to use the financial aid associated with their home institution, which would be that community college, until they finish their associate degree, but take some courses with Sam because those online opportunities are there. That is a possibility as well. But that's something that the financial aid department with that community college works directly with Sam's financial aid, and that is a way to get aid along with that as well. So if there's questions about that, again, the financial aid department is the best one to contact. They can give you that. But we have worked that agreement to consortium agreement between specific community colleges and the university, but we can work that out and make sure that if there are students that want to dual enroll, then they're able to do that. Unfortunately, we can't do dual enrollment for high schools, but we do have some options for at least one of our courses, and that's something we're looking for in the future. So let's transition to questions. I know we don't have a lot of folks here, but we're recording this, and this is going to be available online. So if you've got questions, please let us know. or I'm not hearing any questions. I'm not seeing any in the chat. I'll give you another opportunity. So that being said, I really want to thank you for your time today. It's a great opportunity to talk to you about our programs, have our chairs talk about their specific programs and what's available for you here at Sam Houston University, because we're looking forward to seeing you here. But we also provide that opportunity that if you can't come to Huntsville, we'll meet you where you are. You can take 5-week courses online, you can take 15-week courses online, and you can also come to Huntsville. And depending on where you're at, there may be other opportunities as well. So thanks for your time again, and go Cats. Actually, I'm going to stop there. I do have a question that I did not see. What would you recommend for any students planning on transferring once they get a BS in CRU and are interested in forensics? So let me just address that. So if a student is interested in forensics, again, if they know they want to go into the forensics program, in order to go with a master's program or PhD, they're going to have a bachelor's degree in chemistry or biology or along those science lines. So if they're really interested in that, then that's something that they really need to think about, because a bachelor's degree in criminal justice is not going to give them the requirements that they need to get into that program. However, if they want to get into just take a certificate, then they can certainly do the certificate and understand the investigative components, but that's not going to get them into forensics itself. Any other questions? All right, seeing no other questions. Again, thank you for your time, and go Cats.